Hey everyone, I want to make a quick video for you all. Something I've been thinking about for a while is how we should all work together in a community and some thoughts about what is life and happiness. So we're going to jump into these topics right now. And if you don't know, I really believe that the whole world should be working together. If you were to take a boat and go to a remote island and find a tribe, are you going to see one side of the tribe on the other side of the island and the other half of the tribe on a different side of an island? No, you're going to see them all working together. Mathematically, this should be proven. I would love to see the proof, but I know there were some exceptions. I thought about it, but you're never going to, the best system is going to be with everyone on that island working together. You're going to have the most synergy from that system versus two groups working in isolation. So with that said, we should all work together. Now, the next point, life is free, okay? It really is. If you think about it, the sun gives energy to the plants and they create fruit and vegetables and you can eat that and you can live. So if you can kind of rewind back a couple thousand years, let's say you did live in an area with lots of trees and plants, fruit and vegetable producing plants and trees, you don't really have to pay to live. Living is free. Life is free. Okay? That's it. Life is also it's happy to begin with. Babies are smiling to start with. Our happiness gets taken away by things, but life at the start of it is very happy. We're in paradise. Everything that's bad is kind of what we've done. We brought bad into the world, and that's because of our free will. All right, so this is why I made this video. It's leading up to this point, okay? And this is going to I want to encourage people to seek a happier life and to work together in a community, okay? So think about the whole world as the island example with the tribe. You have the whole planet, okay? You're looking down at the planet. We're talking about an outside perspective, okay? This planet, which it does have fruit and vegetable producing trees and plants, which is true. They're not abundant right now. We do agriculture and we have it set up. But let's say that this planet hypothetically had trees and plants, fruit and vegetable producing all over the world. And it was abundant and it was sufficient for the amount of inhabitants on the world. Okay, so you're one of those inhabitants. You wake up that day underneath your tree and you pick some mangoes or eat some avocados and you have your breakfast and you're good to go. And that's it. You're going to sit there and you got your whole day. Life is free. What is time? So, and you're going to die in this example. So it's limited, I guess, right? So you're just sitting there. What are you going to do? It's human nature. You want to have as much fun as possible. You want to have fun. How much time is it going to take until you take a tree branch and carve it into a baseball bat and you play some baseball? How long until you carve a tree to make a surfboard and you go surfing? So you're going to sit there and it's going to be work to carve a baseball bat. It's going to be work to carve a surfboard. You're going to be completely willing to do that out in nature. You're willing to work. People are not intrinsically lazy. And you're going to do the work for a reason because it's going to bring you fun to surf. It's going to be fun to play baseball. So your main goal in life, it seems, life is not meant to eat food. You're not meant just to live so you could eat, so you can stay alive, so you can eat again, so you can eat. The purpose of life is not eating. The purpose of life is to live, and food gives you the energy to be able to do that. Energy is not the purpose of life. Energy is a means to an end, so you can enjoy life. And so you're going to put in the work to make that surfboard. It's going to bring you happiness. There's an opportunity cost. You're not going to build that surfboard if it's not going to make you happy, if you're not going to surf. So that is what life is about. It's about, hey, I got one life. I want to have as much fun as possible, right? And you're willing to put in work for that. And so going back, all right, so getting into a little more detail of this earth where there's food abundant, people are gonna start. They would start working, not working to pay the bills, working to make themselves happy. They're putting in effort to become happy. Now think about it. You have the whole world. I'm making my surfboard. He's over there making a baseball bat. What would be the best configuration of separating, or what would be the word, delegating that work? The best way is specialization. If you have Johnny only making the surfboards, Billy only making the baseball bats, Jessica is the only one making scissors. Okay, they become specialists at it. So if everyone becomes specialized like the way that we are in the real world, right? Like only some people do one thing at a time, we become more efficient at being specialized. And when we all work together, we actually get more baseball bats and more surfboards produced. The example was if everyone was individually making surfboards, for example, you're only going to produce so much. But if you have the surfboard specialist making the surfboards, then you could probably make more surfboards. Well, that was a bad example. But if you had 10 people making surfboards and then 10 specialists are going to make more surfboards. Have those specialists making the surfboards and have those other 10 people, if they're better at, say, making baseball bats, have them make the baseball bats. We would arrange, that would be the best arrangement. Get the better people at doing things, and we're all the same, so maybe we all can be good at surfing, but maybe we all don't, making a surfboard, but maybe we all don't want to do that. And you also, you can get fulfilled from the actual work that you do. You can enjoy making surfboards. It can be a lot of fun. So work doesn't have to be a bad thing necessarily. You might fall into that niche where I really like this type of work. So that would be even better to put those types of people in the work that needs to get done, right? So anyway, when you have specialization, like the way that the world works, because we figured out that as well, specialization works. That's the best thing. And if you think about it, you actually live in this world that I just described. I know that food isn't abundant and free like the way it is, but if you think about it, if under the free society I was a surfboard maker, and all I had to do was make surfboards, and then I could trade whatever, say there was money. Remember, there's no bills, right? We're all just building stuff for each other, and then we're trading, we're all having fun. You're in the same environment. So you wake up, let's just say I'm a chef. So I'm a bakery chef, and I work at a specialized bakery. So I do the same thing every day. So let's say you wake up, you go to work, and this is like in reality, we're getting away from that planet example of abundant food. You're going to work, you work your 40 hours or 50 or 60, whatever it is, and you go home. So you put in the work, you did your specialization, and you are entitled to eat. I mean, food is not relatively expensive where the majority of people are starving. So you're going to be able to pay for something, ramen noodles or something. Work with me on this point here. So food, you're able to pay for food, with your salary, and then you're able to buy things that you wanted to get, and you're back in the same reality that I was talking about. And it's going to be limited. If you don't want to wake up that day, going back to the abundant planet, which I'll just put here if I keep switching over. So you got an abundant planet of food and then reality. On an abundant planet of food, you're only going to get what you put in. If I only want to make one surfboard or 10 to trade, I'm not going to be able to get that basketball hoop that I've been wanting to get, because that guy spent a lot of hours making a basketball hoop, for example. And so you're only going to get what you put in, and that is life. And that should always be there in any sort of system that we try to create that will mimic the way life works, just to try to make it efficient, right? We're trying to do specialization. So, but even with specialization, like the real world we have, people still get what you put in. Amazon, he's getting more than someone that only works 10 hours a week, okay, the founder of Amazon. So I'm not saying that the disproportion in wealth is fair. It doesn't seem to be, but that will be for another video. The point is you're going to get more. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out, and that is basic to life. So if you can stop thinking that the point of life is to enjoy. So just remember, when you're working because this is ultimately making you more happy. Okay, you're not going to do as well just by yourself. Seriously, And if it's possible, take me up on the offer. If it's possible for you to buy a little bit of land, grow your own food, right? It's really easy, get some stuff up. I obviously know there's work involved, but do it. You're gonna eventually say, I want to do something with my life. I want to have fun, not do something with your life in that way, but I want to do something. I want to go explore. I want to go hiking. I want to go skiing. I need to make a ski. So all these things require effort. We live in a great society right now. Well, not great. Let's say it a different way. We live in a time in history where everyone has always had to put in effort to live throughout history. And it's probably changed throughout history. We probably put less effort in now to survive, especially in America. The amount of work that you actually put in, 40 hours a week, let's say there's a couple and they're both putting 40 hours a week, making $40,000 a year, which was pretty reasonable. And, I got 80,000 after taxes. You're not really putting in that much work compared to what you really get out of that. And, so we live in a blessed time. I mean, I can work just a couple hours and get this insane technology that's taking this video right now. It's really great. Okay. So we live in a blessed time relative to anyone in our past. With the amount of outputs that we get right now. And we have machines that make surfboards. We have automation now. And so with automation comes a higher standard of living for everyone, okay? That means we can now make more surfboards for only one person, and then the other 9 people that used to make surfboards, they can find other ways to add value to society. They can start making new products. So it's really great when you have automation. We really have an infinite amount of happiness that we can reach with automation, because when automation starts making the things that we need to make, it keeps freeing up more and more time. So with that said, I think I had one more thing to say. One second. One more point. So I'm hoping that, you're not, you look at work a little bit differently now. You go to work, you're happy with what we get. Now, what I want to do is I want to make the synergy, I want it to work better. And how can you do that, right? There obviously needs to be a fair a fair appropriation of resources for what you put in, and the people that are making those decisions might be a little corrupt, and I think that's what's happening right now. And so there's becoming a little bit more of a wealth gap. So that would need to end, because you want people to put in the work and get back what they deserve or what they've entitled to. And I had another point with automation. It was going to lead to something else. I did forget it, but maybe we'll come back. Anyway, so all right, so I hope you're happier going to your job and thinking about how, I'd be doing this anyway. Even if I didn't have bills, I'd still be doing this because I want to have more fun in my life, and this allows me to have more fun. So when you think of it like that, we all just need to get along. There shouldn't be any borders. We're in one planet. We should all be working together. And that's one of my things, is a website I want to build that it's a pre-Kickstarter. So usually people come to the website with a Kickstarter with an idea, and then they get funding and launch it. What about the pre-Kickstarter, the people that are coming up with the idea that haven't made a prototype, that haven't done anything with it, but they think they have a great idea? It could be as something like Dorito flavored shells at Taco Bell. Right now you can go on Twitter, you'll find lots of ideas out there, and they'll get lots of retweets, but I don't know if anything's happening with it. But people are creative by nature, and I feel like every year there's thousands on thousands of ideas that are just wasted, that people aren't talking about publicly. Have you ever seen a product where you had an idea and it came out a couple years later? So you want to give the idea out now, because most likely your idea is going to be thought about in the future at some point. But why wait till the future when the idea came to someone that was willing to just bring it to the market, say it to the market, not actually create the prototype. So I think there's a lot of that going on right now that's being wasted. So that's one way. Oh, I remembered my point now. Okay, earlier. So getting people smarter. Okay, let me go back to what I was saying. So oh boy, forgot what I was just saying right before that. But at least I remember the point. Oh yeah, so capitalizing on these ideas. I think this will help. And it will get people, once this actually starts and people are able to see like, wow, my ideas are actually being used for something, we'll have a like an exponential effect because more people will jump on the wagon and more people will be like, hey, we're all humans. We all come up with creative things. Let's become creative, because the higher, the more stuff that we add to the market, the average standard of living goes up no matter what, even with a corrupt system. Obviously disproportionately goes to the people at the top, and we're hoping to change that. But regardless, it will still raise the average standard of living right now. The average standing living of someone under the poverty line in America is way better than it was, 3,000 years ago for the people at the poverty line. So maybe it wasn't. I don't know. We'll look into that. But the standard of living when the tide rises, all the boats will rise in the harbor. So that's hopefully analogous to what I'm talking about. So, and it does show. So let's all get the standard of living increased. The only way that's happening is new ideas. New ideas are what does that. You either make things more efficient, more cost effective, you're saving time. So yes, new ideas. Get humans to start understanding their brains have the potential to create things. It's the best thing in the world. It gives us more time and more things to have more fun. So being smarter, my point that I was going to say earlier, I'm so thankful that I remembered it. So the way that I'd like to do this, not only by creating a website where people can submit their ideas and get paid for it. I think the people that come up with the ideas, the people that collaborate to make the ideas better, that bring the ideas to the market, everyone that adds value should get value back. That's it. I just want a fair system. And, even kids from 2 to 18, they come up with ideas all the time. I mean, we could turn schooling into something that actually brings value. Think about all the sixth graders that could do that whole year, could just look into maybe a civil rights issue or a business issue. And think about all the ideas they could come up with for taking out the trash in the ocean, or maybe coming up with an idea to stop the trash to come into the ocean in the first place. So we just really gotta, it's our planet, okay? If you're alive right now, if you're listening to this, if you're not listening to this, you are part of the world. People that say died 1,000 years ago have nothing to do with the world directly. Obviously indirectly through what they said and they did, but directly no, okay? If they're violent, if they're mean, if they're kind, they have no impact. The whole world that's living right now, it just takes us to just change right now our mindset and say, hey, I'm a human being, I'm on this planet, I want to live a certain way. I'm not going to be violent. I'm going to be peaceful among the people here. We're going to work together. I'm going to work together with everyone else. This is going to be the best environment. So if I can create, and this will be the second thing, right? I want to do the website. But the second thing is getting people smarter. I just want to encourage people to ask for evidence before they make the decision. Here's how you cannot be deceived or fooled in life. Never make a decision until you're 100% sure, okay? Or you're really close to being 100%, right? Just make sure you're patient with your decision. But the smarter, if for children and even anyone up to adults at any age, I want to help them use their brain better. Our brains are very powerful at creating things and thinking and finding the truth and finding new information. So everyone is, because I care about everyone and I know that everyone affects everyone's happiness, I'm more motivated to help out other people. I guess you could say that in that way. I do love people just because, not necessarily because of a means to an end, but I do love everyone, and I do want them all happy. So I just want everyone smarter. Even the dumbest person in the room, you're as weak as your weakest soldier, right? Or you're as strong as your weakest soldier. So even the dumbest people in the class, and I don't mean to say it like that in a bad way, but we need to help out those people. We need the tide to ride for everyone. This isn't a No Child Left Behind act. You don't need people to understand calculus if they just don't understand it, right? I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about how to think better. Every time you have a situation in front of you, you're making a decision. I want you to make a better decision. And that is going to be from evidence. You need to get the evidence and you need to be able to interpret the evidence, okay? Evidence means nothing. You have to interpret it, okay? So we have to be good interpreters of the evidence. We just need to make this more practical. I think schools are doing a poor job, and I don't know why. I guess supposedly conspiracy alert. Maybe there's a couple of people that rule the world, and maybe that's why they don't want schooling because it's so good, because they just want people to be workers. Workers, it doesn't make sense. You want the whole world to be as smart as possible because then you're going to have a higher standard of living and for the wealthy, corrupt people. But I think that they understand what I understand is the smarter that people get, and the more smarter people you get, the less likely it is that you're going to have corruption. Okay, because the people are just going to be smart about it. Now you will have corruption still. They're going to be very tricky and they're going to be so deceitful. You can still deceive very smart people. So we have to be very careful. And I just saw a video today on cognitive bias, that every human has it and we have to watch out for it. So I'm going to be making videos about how to think, how to make better decisions. I do have a heart for bullying too, for kids that are getting bullied. Like, younger kids just don't understand what like an adult understands. And, if someone bullied me, like a little kid gets bullied at the age of 6, it wouldn't affect me. I'd be like, I don't care that you just called me a big blueberry, but for a child that could be earth shattering, and they could even commit suicide, from bullying. So it's really sad. So I just want to get out there and just give these kids encouragement. Give me the example you're going through, little Timmy. I'll tell you. Let me talk to Johnny. And I'm not going to be mean to Johnny who's bullying. I'm going to talk to Johnny. Hey, Johnny, this is not really how you want to live your life. You don't want to see Timmy crying. It doesn't really bring you happiness. Well, look at Timmy, how he's smiling right now because you gave him a new airplane or something. Like, look how happy he is. So, it's just hard. I can't obviously talk to every single kid and talk to unique situations, but when you talk about one scenario, a lot of people go through similar scenarios, so it can help out. So ending bullying, getting people smarter. Obviously, when you get smarter, you're not as mean. Now, some people are going to get smart and they're going to try to be mean in a smart way. I got it. Unfortunately, that's life, and we're all in this together. We just need to encourage those people that are mean to love, and don't let them affect you. So, because they're going to try. So anyway, getting people smarter, teaching them how to think is going to make the society better. And that's what I'm here to do, make society a better place by encouraging people to think and to be better, because I can't do the change by myself, but I know that we all can do the change if we unite. And I might not need the whole world to unite. There's so many people out there nowadays that 10% of the whole world's population is an insane amount of people. And that could actually be the change that starts this, about 10% of people, I think, that you're only going to need. So making people smarter. I know the website idea I had to get ideas out there. I just get them out there. And if you can get paid for it, like if you said, yeah, Taco Bell should have like Dorito flavored, taco shells, and you put this to the website, and either, we'll get advertisements from posting this, so you can get a percentage of the ad shares. Maybe the companies will actually pay you and be like, that's a great idea. And that will look good for the company, because the company is going to, take that person's idea and make money off of it. So the society is going to want to see the company pay them back, because the company is who's being benefited from. So they should be paying that person, and then they would be fine with that. Apple paid someone like $10,000 just from using the phone, and they found like a virus, or they found a glitch in the app when they're using it. And Apple pays people to find that kind of stuff. So creating ideas, the world is always willing to pay for new ideas, okay? If you're saving time or you're adding some sort of utility, someone's out there that's going to pay for it. And just because you won't have the access in that local market to maybe find it, the world is so big that with our strength in numbers, if we have a community that's united, these ideas that come out right away are going to go to the right person. And that's also what I want. There's so many ideas out there that if the right person had that idea, they'd be able to have more synergy and make their idea even better. And that's what I've loved about what I do. I do so many different businesses that I get to take my thinking from all these different areas and maybe apply it to a different industry. So I know about this, and I know other people know this, but not a lot. And so I just want to encourage everyone. This life I've had is a great life, and I'm so happy. And it really is. And I want to share my perspective with people because I think some people never find this perspective or they find it later in life. And also, too, the system is just, I mean, look at the world. I don't need to prove to anyone that it seems like it's upside down, and it looks like it's been upside down from almost the beginning, okay? People have been messing it up. But that is the good news. Just because the world's been like this for however long doesn't mean it has to be the same. There were bad people back then, okay? Let's bring up like kings or pharaohs, or, you know, with slavery and murderings and taking over nations and cruelty. I mean, oh, dude, you could have done anything back then. There wasn't, if you were a tribe and you went to another tribe across the island and you just murdered all of them, no one was taking you to jail. I mean, it was really just a survival of an animal-like world. And we don't have to, and those people are terrible, right? That had cruelty. They're not alive right now, though. They're gone. There are some bad people around, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ages of bad people that have been in power that have just kind of like tainted society, and it's just staying with us. But we can just completely end that. I mean, we can have world peace right now if we wanted to. If we really wanted to, everyone would just have to be like, hey, you know what? Everyone in the past, maybe even including myself, has done violence, but we don't need to do it anymore. So obviously this is an ideal video of, oh, you know, he wants world peace. You know, it's something so rare. But I'm not just saying it. I'm bringing up a system, okay? Coming up with new ideas will increase the standard of living for everyone in the world. And I care about everyone. And even so much where I've thought about even a basic income cryptocurrency that we could literally launch right now. And if enough people just say, yeah, it's valuable, we just basically issue currency and decrease the wealth gap. We could just give money to everyone proportionately, which would decrease the wealth gap. Or we could give it disproportionately to the people that need it. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be decreasing the wealth gap. If you start giving to everyone, if you give everyone $1,000, it decreases the wealth gap, because the people, the millionaires, the billionaires, it doesn't really help them out as much, but it helps out here. So we could do that. We literally, cryptocurrency just proved that. You can make a coin from nothing and say it's valuable. And this could be a basic income currency, because we're sick of the wealth gap and the disproportion of value. And so we could do this. We're at a time and a place where, you know, we have all the resources, we have the amount of people to easily change the world with only a small percentage of people getting on board. Not a lot of people own Bitcoin, right? So, you know, you could do that. Another idea I had would be starting out people with money. You know, start people out with just a little bit of money, like, hey, you're always going to get this every month. Really smart people are going to say, well, you know what? I'm going to try to flip this money. I don't care if I'm only getting $100 a month. I'm going to turn it into $200 somehow. And that's what we're teaching people. We're teaching people to take what they have and increase it, make it more valuable to people, and start them out with, everyone should start with the resources. So you can start them out without it. You can start them with it. This is obviously another video, but start them out with money. My idea of basic income was to be backed by value, because when you have two people in a system and a third person comes in and says, here's a currency, they have to actually put up, say, the gold-backed currency at that time. They have to bring that value just so these people can, lots of people, sorry, more than two, say like 10 people that all want to trade but have different things that people want. Money solves that problem. But someone has to actually put up that value. And so the government kind of figured out, like, hey, I put up the value of gold, but I can kind of take it away by just having trust, which I kind of like that idea, because the gold should be used for another thing as long as people have this trust. That's actually a better system. So I agree with that, which is going against what I'm kind of saying now. I would want a basic income, but what if we planted trees? What if we had a lot of land and we planted mango trees or avocados trees, and I can say, hey, here's this cryptocurrency. It has value. It's backed by, you can go to the ticket exchange and go get bananas. Now, maybe it's not in a local area because it's far away, but you could still get the bananas. So I would trust this currency. It allows me to go get it. So we could, and it takes a little seed to grow a banana tree. So it's not a lot of work. I literally just have to throw a seed on the ground, and I could say, hey, my currency is now backed by $100 worth of bananas that are on this tree. It might take a couple years. The point is, though, is we could have this huge amount, and this goes along with what I'm saying, right? This world that has a bunch of endless amount of fruit and stuff like that. We start planting crops, we start planting it everywhere. I don't know how this is going to affect the ecosystem and the birds and all that, but we have to make sure we eat it. We just have a world with a lot more abundance of fruit and vegetables. And then we could have that backed by a cryptocurrency and say, yeah, this is the currency's backing us. We can actually start consuming that, and we could still have the currency being, backed by it somehow. Maybe when people eat it, the currency gets created. I haven't figured that out yet. But the backing is important. Having it there saying, yeah, this token is backed by 10 mangoes. Obviously, mangoes are worth something. So the cryptocurrency would have value to it. So, and then you could stop the world starvation thing. Why can't we just plant trees? Maybe in Africa, yeah, like the soil's bad, or there could be reasons. Why can't trees be planted? I don't know. Trees will bring more water, right? So we can just start. And this is where this video went, I guess. Let's terraform the earth. Isn't that so crazy? We're literally in a future right now in 2020 where I can actually say that. Like, let's terraform the earth. Like, we've destroyed it. Why terraform Mars, Elon? Like, let's terraform Earth. No worry about food anymore. We'll plant a bunch of avocado trees, mango trees, just as much. I mean, trees will be a little bit easier to maintain than, like, say, vegetables or like tomatoes, but something. Calories. Get people not to worry, food security, get people not to worry about that. There's so many houses in America. There's no tree producing fruits. Makes no sense. You can literally have an oak tree in your backyard. Yeah, I know that the trees are beautiful, but why not have a mango tree offering shade, and you could literally pick a mango and you didn't have to eat breakfast that morning and go somewhere. Now, like I said, it's going to hurt the industry that maybe produces food. Remember when I said the 9 workers are going to lose their job when they make a surfboard when the automation comes out? Well, guess what? Those 9 workers can start doing massaging, and now you have like your food taken care of, and now you have more people around massaging you. For example, it could be anything. Those 9 workers that took up by automation will come up with something with an iPhone, right? Like, you never know who's going to come up with the next idea. Now remember, and I like ideas, so I know this more than anyone. Ideas come from everywhere. They do not come from a certain social class, different types of genders, ages. New ideas come from anywhere. They do not discriminate. We all have a human brain and capable of creating ideas. And some of our brains are different than others in ways and personalities and traits. And that leads us to come up with more synergy when we're all together, because we're all a little different, and we'll come up with different ideas. So yeah, so this video, I hope that it was even recording. Let me just check right now. Woo! 32. I did hear the the sound when it started, but that would have been really bad if it didn't get this, because I said a lot of stuff. And I'll maybe make separate videos on some of the big topics that I talked about here. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. That's what I want to do. That's what Michael Daniel Baldino wants to do right now, if I can talk in the third person. But that's what's on my heart. I want the world to be a better place. I am motivated for that. I met someone recently, Kevin, and then another guy, Anthony, and they're both kind of on that page. And I think it's great. And maybe Art and Chaim would want to be on this, and Stephen Jass. But I don't care. I'm here to start it. I want to do it. Kevin seems to be interested in the saving the world kind of thing, and definitely Anthony. So there's that synergy. One person can only do so much. When you meet with 2 people, it's crazy. Think about John Smith's needle factory. I've always been fascinated by this. So they had say whatever it was, 12 people. I'm gonna butcher the example, but the point will be there. They had 12 people. They all individually made needles, and they made something like whatever it was, 100 a day. All of them combined. And what he did is he says, hey, I'm going to break down the constituent steps to making a needle, and I'm going to do specialization. And you're going to do this, and you're going to do this. And guess how many needles they were able to make just by rearranging the task involved, to specialize. It was something like 20,000 a day. It was that much increase. So synergy is very important, okay? When we work together, we become unstoppable. A human brain can only do so much, but when you have, say, 1,000 human brains, and they're all thinking about the same exact problem, you better believe that solution is going to be coming soon, because there's nothing that we can't do, okay? There's nothing that we can't do together. So We don't need the whole world on this. It would be great. But like I said, 10% of people getting involved, that's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the world. And because of synergy, when one person connects to one person, there's a lot more value created. And 1,000 people, think about a company. That's pretty much exactly what I'm talking about now. A company works together in complete like harmony. They're all on the same page. And they do great things, you know? But we're trying to make the world a company. So whoever wants to join on this movement, it will be about helping people get smarter. That's it. Get people to be smarter, make better decisions. When someone's not making a good decision in the real world, help them out. If you see a kid being bullied, talk to them. Do your part. It really does add up. And when you start doing the part and you start seeing other people do the part to you and you feel it in your life and you're like, wow, this is really how life should be. You know, where I'm out here helping little Timmy that got bullied. And then I'm at the cafe and I drop $20 on the ground and someone's like, here's your $20. I didn't steal it. Or maybe you needed just some information about how to clean a wooden table. I don't know what it is, but when we all work together, it's going to be such a better environment. And that's what I'm pleading. I guess now I feel like to put this on my heart, I'm a believer in God. I believe in Jesus. I haven't mentioned God this whole video, and I haven't mentioned my faith. Okay, and I hope it didn't discredit all the people out there that don't believe in God or don't believe necessarily in the same religion. I know that the human heart always aligns with religion or God. Okay, no one wants to murder or steal. A human feels much more fulfilled and happy in life, aligning with what I have found in the Bible. Putting that aside, because I know that human nature wants exactly what the Bible is talking about, I don't even have to bring it up. If God is true, God will show himself to you like he has to me, and I don't have to bring that up. However, I'm bringing up religion just so you can know a little bit more about me, because I would like to say that the best thing a Christian can do is just mention their faith to you, because obviously a Christian believes in a heaven or a hell. So just know that when a Christian talks about their faith, they're doing what they think is the best thing in their life to you. And that's it. It's an opinion. We'll leave it at that. But my point was, I'm trying to change the world. I brought that up, right? I want to make the world a better place. I didn't mention God. I didn't mention my faith. It doesn't need to be mentioned, right? I do believe that, God is the only way, and to really turn your life around if you want to. However, it doesn't need to be said here. I really went impromptu when I brought up God. Obviously, it's a big part of my life, but I bring it up at the right time. But anyway, I didn't need to mention God. I didn't need to mention Jesus, okay? This makes sense to the human mind. Make people smarter. That's all I'm saying. Make your decisions based on evidence, okay? Work together. This is a community. Understand synergy. When you work together, you're gonna create more, okay? 1 + 1 is 2, but when you have synergy, when that 1 works together, 1 + 1 won't equal 2, it'll equal 4. Okay, so smarter, work together in the community. I'm hoping that it's implied the working together in the community is a non-violent and a peaceful movement, okay? Work together, implied non-violence and peace. And then you could say the website to increase the standard of living for everyone. I want the world to be happier. I mentioned happiness, right? When I first started this off, I said, hey, we're all alive, right? We don't know where we came from. We didn't get the blueprints to life. Everything was a complete blank slate. You're like, welcome to reality. The first day you open your eyes as a baby, you're not opening them like you do now, where you really understand what's going on a little bit better. And we're trying to survive. It's great that food is free. The sun makes it. And we're all just trying to have as much happiness as we possibly can, right? That's the point of life. I didn't mention God. I didn't mention Jesus. Obviously, the point to life to me is to enjoy life with God, because God made you for the purpose to enjoy life. But you're enjoying life with your Creator. I guess you could or you couldn't enjoy life with your Creator if you wanted to. It'd be kind of lonely. The Creator would kind of be kind of sad. But what would be the point? Don't you want to know who made you? Why? Don't you have some questions? And then if the creator is a good creator and the creator just wants to make a paradise for you to enjoy life, thank you. I love you. Like, you're the best. Let me give you a hug and a kiss. Thank you. So, all right. So anyway, you're just trying to have as much enjoyment as possible, taking the God out of this, because I know this is a message that I want to give to the whole world. And so, yeah, we're all just trying to have as much fun as possible, right? Okay. I don't know anyone that doesn't agree with that. So let's all just get along. Like I said, right? Smartness, community, nonviolence, maybe a website. People start giving their ideas, and you get paid for this, right? Like, I want the website. I want you to get paid for it because that's how it should be. You get what you put in. And so, yeah, make it competitive where everyone's just trying to throw in as much ideas as possible. That would be great, this website that I'm talking about. I really think that's really the website's really gonna help. And also getting people smarter. If I can make good videos or it talks about how to think, that's definitely gonna help too. I think those are the two biggest things. Working together as a community, the synergy thing kind of works out with the website because the motivation is behind there, but that would be a good movement to get in people's brains, and nonviolence and peace. That's good to get into people's brains as well. I don't know if those were methods. I think the videos that I was I think the website and then the getting people smarter is going to directly help. The other stuff is kind of like a feeling that people have to agree with community and synergy and nonviolence and peace. I guess you can make a video that promotes that. But that video was kind of like this. We're all on a tribe, or if you can think about, the planet with food that's free and it's abundant. Why kill someone? You got plenty of food. Yeah, obviously they could offend you or do something bad, but you have to learn to forgive. And then the other person, they need to not do that in the first place. So there's lessons to be learned on both sides. So why can't we all just get along? Okay? My name is Michael Daniel Baldino. I really appreciate if you're watching this message. I know it was long. I'll try to make a shorter video, but I am pleading to the whole world to just get along, okay? We're all in this together. Let's work together. Let's make the happiest planet possible. Right now, there's a happiness level on the planet. It can be measured. And guess what? There are extremes. We could be at the lowest or the highest level of potential happiness reached. It might even be unlimited. There might not even be a level. However, wherever we're at now, I know we can do better, okay? I know we can do much better. Much, much better. By a factor of 10 or 100, okay? Let's do this. This is my plead. This will be my first video on this. I'm hoping you expect many more. I'm hoping this is the video that starts it all. It's probably too long for that to happen, and there was lots of ideas. And I don't know how much religion should be brought up in these global videos to call for, but if you understand the four things, I didn't mention anything about God or religion, so I know that we'll be able to get to the highest place without that. I think, in my personal opinion, that your spirit and your soul will be weak and it will feel empty unless you have God. So that highest utility factor right there, I wasn't mentioning anything spiritual, being fulfilled spiritually. Obviously, the only way you can do that is with God. But you'll feel that, and you'll find that out. If it's true that you can feel spiritually weak, if that's true, I felt like that before. I've been there and I've done that. I've passed it, thanks to God. But so you can reach that ultimate happiness level, okay? I'm not talking spiritually, I'm talking something that every single human on this world can understand, okay? You can understand happiness, all right? We just want, if you like surfing, we want to get you surfboards. If you like baseball, we want to get you baseball. Whatever it is, go out, enjoy your life. We're all in this together. This is our planet, okay? I know that, people think they own things and I own this property. It's kind of a way, it's a nice organized way to do things. And in that ideal world that I'm talking about, that we'll probably still have a separation of land. But if you think about it, the land that I'm on right now is owned equally by every single person on this earth. How can I say that it's mine and it's not anyone's, right? We're all entitled to this earth and to this resources. So if we can turn these resources into as many resources as possible, we don't really have to fight over all the resources, do we, right? When you have so many of it. And that's what can happen in this system. Tenfold or 100-fold, if we all start really working together and making the resources that we have now more productive, There's going to be so many resources out there that we won't know what to do with. There won't need to be the greed anymore, where people are going to need to have more than others. There's obviously going to be a disproportion in the reality that I'm talking about, because some people will put in less than the others. If someone wants to live under their tree and just eat mangoes for the rest of their life, let them do it, okay? But they're certainly not entitled to your surfboards that you made, okay, on the island next door. You can always, out of the goodness of your heart, let them use it. But we should teach people that, hey, you get in what you get out. Maybe we can give them a little bit just to give them a spark of interest, like that basic income that I was talking about. The basic income would work well in a reality right now that we're in, not necessarily the reality that I was talking about with endless amounts of food that's available. You don't necessarily need to create a currency in that situation. But if people started working and they made things and they wanted to trade, currency just makes that a lot more efficient. So a medium of exchange is really good to have. And it just needs to be like an IOU. It doesn't need to actually have any value represented behind it, as long as people believe in it. So we'll see what we're going to do. If we're going to back it by food, or if we're going to back it by, we're going to make a basic income with like no currency. I know I went all over the place. I guess maybe my fifth point could have been make a basic income to make the wealth gap smaller. I'm not a wealth gap person. I'm not trying to, all the wealthy people out there, I'm not trying to attack you. I don't think you're bad. I know the system is bad. Whoever purposely knows the system is bad and does it to manipulate it, that is bad, and I would call you not to do that. But there are a lot of wealthy people out there that aren't really part of it. Some are worse than others. Some know what they're doing and they're really making the system bad. Some people are like, hey, I'm part of a bad system, but I'm wealthy. Like, what do you want me to do about it? I understand. So I'm a very reasonable person. And so I don't know. The cryptocurrency thing could have been that could help the world kind of do that little boost that I'm talking about. You give them money, show them like, hey, make some value in the world. You can do this. We believe in you. We're even giving you an investment first. I believe in every single human. Every human's unique and they add benefit. Why? They have a brain, okay? So, personally, I believe every human's beautiful, and because they're made in God's image and they have a soul, and they're very important in that sense. But like I said, I'm trying to get a larger audience, and I know that I don't need to talk about religion to get to a larger audience too, but talking to a larger audience, I don't need to bring it up. I forget what point I was at exactly, but something about happiness. I forget. I'm probably maxed out right now with my brain. I was just talking about the cryptocurrency. Whether the cryptocurrency might help. I'm hoping I didn't press this button. I would have heard the noise, because this little thing turns off the video, but I would have heard noise. So I'm probably still being recorded, which is good. We're probably at 50 minutes. But so maybe that could help out the system. Maybe making a basic income. But these are the 5 things I'm working on, and I love you all, and I really hope that we can all do this together. Okay? I'm signing out. Uh-oh.